Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I've been using iOS 18.6 for the past couple of days at this point. And in this video, I'm going to give you my overall experience running iOS 18.6. I'm going to talk about my battery life, battery health, and performance, and also share the Geekbench score during this video as well. But first, I must mention a couple of things. A couple of days ago, first off, I started a podcast channel. So I am on Spotify. If I go to the Hawkins Tech podcast, I currently have 2 episodes of 1 season, and I managed it through Spotify for Creators. Also, I started a poll and I asked, which iOS version do you prefer? iOS 18.6 or iOS 26 beta 4? And if we take a look at that, 50% said iOS 18.6 and 50% also said iOS 26 beta 4. But I'm going to refresh YouTube and see if that has updated. And it's still about the same. So I will try to do this more often where I create YouTube polls. I don't do this a lot, but I will try to do it a little bit more often. Now, as far as my overall performance running iOS 18.6, well, this is the update we've been wanting for quite some time now. Because iOS 18.5, while I faced no bugs, it was still an update that needed to have a new update. Because we've had that update for 2 months straight and no double point update. But iOS 18.6 does seem to perform pretty great. We do some scrolling here. It works as it's supposed to work. We go on the podcast. That works nice and great. It works as it should. If I go into my battery health here, you can see my iPhone is at 80%. And with that battery health, I've gotten 1 hour, 2 minutes screen on time, 11 minutes of screen off time. But I believe it's calculating this incorrectly, as I might have got up around 8:30. But if not, it used to sometimes incorrectly calculate this on iOS 18.5. And now let's take a look at the battery health on the iPad. Taking a look at it on my iPad, on the iPad it's calculating it a lot better. 23 minutes screen on time, 1 minute of screen off time on the battery health of this device. Well, I can't check the battery health, but yesterday we had 5 hours, 19 minutes screen on time, 14 minutes of screen off time. That's the battery life I'm getting on this device. I typically don't let this device go low. Well, admittingly, a lot of the times I do. But there is no way to check the battery health percentage like there is on the iPhone, unless you have the newer iPad Pros, the newer Air and Pro models. Then you should be able to check what your battery life is like on this device. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a Geekbench score. Geekbench completed, and on my iPhone, I scored 2,070 for single core, 4,682 for multi-core. If we go into last week, I scored 2055 single core, 4630 for Mode T core. And on the iPad, we scored 2083 per single core, 5114 for Mode T core. We take a look at last week's result on iPadOS 18.5, and we scored 2094 single core, 5108 for Mode T core. As far as what's next from Apple, well, we're in the month of August now. So that means that we are just a month away from seeing the iPhone 17s and iOS 26 public release. So this is what I would expect. On Monday, the 4th of August, I would expect iOS 26 Beta 5. And in this month, I would expect a new beta every week. So I would expect one next week with iOS 26 Beta 5. Then I would expect the beta on the 11th, Beta 6, Beta 7 on August 18th. Last but not least, Beta 8 on August 25th. Nothing the week of September 1st. I would expect a final release of iOS 26, or maybe not a final release just yet, but the RC build alongside the iPhone 17 event on September 8th. Potentially September 9th, but last year it was on the 9th, I believe, so this year we could see it on the 8th. Pre-orders for the iPhone 17 go live on February 12th. I won't be buying that. Most likely, I'm going to have the iPhone 13 or the iPhone 14 by then, hopefully. But then on September 15th, I would expect iOS 26 to drop. And I'm still going to make that 20 to 30 minute video followed by a live stream later that day or night. I'm going to do a 1 hour long live stream because I'm not going to screen record a long 1 hour video for when iOS 26 releases. What I'm going to do instead is make a 20-minute video covering as many features as I can, then a live stream later that day covering every feature that I missed in my What's New video. That's the best way I'm going to make this iOS 26 video. If I couldn't do it that way, then I would have to make several videos covering features that I missed. And it would be better to live stream it all. But I'm going to have a 20 to 30 minute video out first covering features, then a live stream later that night. Then on September 19th is when I would expect the iPhone 17s to drop. Somewhere in between that, I would expect iOS 26.1 Beta 1 to drop after iOS 26 releases. So we got a busy next couple of months coming up. And of course, I will make videos on it on both my YouTube and my TikTok. And I also started a podcast on Spotify. So if you guys want to see that, I will have a new podcast coming out tomorrow. I do podcasts on Spotify. I wanted to put it elsewhere, but this is where I could get it for right now. If we wait for this to load, this is my newest podcast. I'm just going to play a piece of it really quickly here. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Hawkins Tech Podcast. The last time I done one of these was on June 15th. So if you guys want to see that podcast, you would have to download Spotify or go to the Spotify website. If you don't have Spotify, well, unfortunately, you wouldn't be able to watch my podcast if you don't have the app. But most likely, if you don't have the app, it's going to direct you to the website via the link in my YouTube channel description. So make sure you guys follow me on Spotify and TikTok, as well as subscribe to me on YouTube. We're getting close to 300 subscribers. I currently have 287 subscribers. So make sure you guys follow me on TikTok and YouTube and subscribe to my Spotify channel, which is called the Hawkins Tech Podcast. I'm going to have one coming out sometime tomorrow. I'm going to make one. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.